Hello guys, this is Chris here in Mandaluyong in Manila. I'm just watching an awful lot of videos recently, primarily about the collapse of China across the board, from real estate to tea to you could just say laying flat, jobs, companies going under, people running away. We're talking about businesses running away and leaving their employees and their investors in terrible state. And I can reflect on my time being in China. We're talking like 2006 onwards. I was there probably about 15 years on and off. I had a small business, and what I found out, and it's putting a comparison here, is that when I interviewed people for the jobs, what I found, speaking to each of my intended employees, is that each of them were totally surprised how a foreign company would operate, considering their past experiences working for Chinese companies. The fact that they can express themselves if they disagree about something or if they see possibilities to improve the working environment or the product or researching things in another way. They wanted to be able to express this and to bring it to the level of the owner, the Lao Ban, the company director, i.e. myself or my partner. And the fact that they could do this openly without being subjected to repercussions for saying anything, it was surprising how much information we gleaned from these new workers, as well as the fact that they could enjoy working in a very flexible environment that didn't perceive them as just machine working, just providing a service for money. They were providing more input, which then improved their lifestyle, improved their wages, and made things better for everyone working in the office. So bringing us forward now to today's date, every time I watch videos now, and this is from Chinese companies that are actually outside of China, like the Chinese Observer. There are other sites, and what should I say? Could be like, I suppose you could say, reviewing companies that are not directly tied to or not tied to the CCP because they couldn't explain anything. These are outside companies that are Chinese that are actually talking about events in China. I would have to say I totally agree. The Chinese are clever in making business, but I believe that's also due to the numbers game. If you provide a service or a product that attracts people in small quantities because of their demarcation, because of their the size of the country, or effectively, if you can provide attention or attraction to 1% or 0% of a large community, of a large denomination of people, i.e., China, 1.4 billion people, you attract 0.1% of those people into a business scheme you've got, you're a billionaire. You're already a millionaire or a billionaire. So this is what I'm saying about the numbers game. You do this in other countries, that impact, that revenue, that ROI is never going to be the same. Hence, you have more billionaires in China that are now running away outside the country because, of course, the CCP are taking control and trying to manage them, quote unquote. And these entrepreneurs, stroke government helped individuals that have made it to their peak are now running away. They can see that there's no benefit anymore in China. They can see that their strength is being eroded and their ability to create or make even more money is fading into the distance. So I would now finish this video by saying Chinese greatest strength is their greed, but it's also their Achilles heel. What I mean by that is being a community or a country that has grown through decades of not having to suddenly being able to have has created that greed. That's natural in any environment, in any country. Yeah? But what's happened is there is no limit. There is no, what should I say, fail safe for things going wrong. And every time you look at a Chinese company, and I've dealt with a few over the years, they don't see the problems that could be ahead. All they see is the now. They'll see the benefits of now. They will never accept that things can go wrong. They'll never accept that, you know what goes up goes down. Like the stock market, like the stock exchange, like cryptocurrency. They'll never accept the fact, effectively, that things can go wrong. So what happens is they run with this thing and they will hit a wall. And when they hit the wall, it's like, oh, surprise, and then they'll complain or there's an uproar, and then you know what? They'll invest in something and approach it in the same mentality state. They still see it as it's going to be good, never that it's going to fail, never that it's going to be disbenefit to you. And this is the continuous way that they do things. And the people who are smart enough to see this, that have moved through the ranks in the Chinese community and become entrepreneurs, businessmen, uh, they see this in their own community. They see this in their own culture, and they take full advantage of it. That people want money, and they'll do anything to gain that money, which means they're also liable to be cheated, to be manipulated, to be taken advantage of. And this is where the few will always take advantage of the many. It's the world over. But in this scenario in China, this is all that's happening, is that those who've been helped by either the government officials or the government state or the CCP party with their contacts called guanxi, they will always be the ones that make money, that will screw other people over, and they're brutal and cold about it. The fact that they can have a company that fails, and what they do is, knowing it's going to fail, you know what they do? They propose discounts. They introduce ways of attracting people, knowing the company is going to fail, knowing the company is on the brink of destruction, but they're still happy to fool people, the ordinary people, those who don't have money, those who invest whatever they've got, which they're not able to invest, but they invested hoping to make some benefits, to have an ROI on it. They get completely destroyed. And this is the mentality that exists, that those who chase money will be taken advantage by those who've learned how to take advantage of those people who chase after the dream. Here we are now, Evergrande collapsing, the real estate company. A lot of banks are now failing and closing in China. Companies are closing because they don't have access to the international platforms. They don't have international investment so much now. They don't have the support of being able to trade with international companies. They are being isolated, and which means they're going to lose trade, they're going to lose import and export, they're going to lose the status they had before. So they're closing, they're even moving out of certain areas like Shenzhen, Guangzhou, other parts of China, and moving to cheaper areas to hope to maintain that they can manage to stay afloat. But it's bleak, my friends. It's so bleak that in every aspect of the Chinese financial status, right, there is huge disagreement, disillusionment, and problems that is going to hit even more people. And sadly, it's going to hit those who have very little, that have invested, those who are in their own way of greed, have put everything on the line. Yeah, we're talking about provincials, we're talking about small villages, small town people who just follow the lead, follow like sheep because everyone's saying, yes, if you don't do this, you're a fool. If you don't do this, you must not be business orientated. And they get tied into this attraction that you can make big money by doing very little. So, guys, I hope this helps you if you're dealing with Chinese, if you're working in that environment, and if you just basically one information that I've understand over my time. Now collaborating with the information I've gleaned from videos too. So I hope this helps, and that you're not caught up in that trend or in that ridiculous exchange of destroying yourself.